Have you ever wondered how our understanding of freedom, society, and the self has been shaped? The man behind many of these ideas is none other than Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel, a philosopher whose thoughts continue to influence the world even today. His theories have informed our understanding of everything from politics to art, and his influence is felt in every corner of human thought. So let's embark on this intellectual journey together. Today we delve into the fascinating world of Hegel's philosophy. Born in Stuttgart, Germany in 1770, Hegel was a man of his time. As a child he was nurtured under the guidance of his mother, a woman of profound faith, and his father, a government clerk. This blend of spiritual and practical influences marked the early stages of his life. In his teenage years, Hegel was sent to the Stuttgart Gymnasium Illustre, a preparatory school where he was first introduced to the classics. Here, he was deeply influenced by the Greek philosophers such as Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Their teachings about the nature of reality and the pursuit of wisdom would plant the seeds of Hegel's future philosophical inquiries. After Stuttgart, Hegel attended the Tübinger Stift, a seminary at the University of Tübingen, where he shared quarters with future philosopher Friedrich Schelling and the poet Friedrich Hölderlin. This intellectual triumvirate would go on to leave indelible marks on German Romanticism and idealism. Hegel's university years were also the Age of Enlightenment, a period of intellectual and philosophical development that championed reason, science, and skepticism of traditional authority. Thinkers like Immanuel Kant and Jean-Jacques Rousseau sparked Hegel's interest in the potential of the human mind and the nature of society and governance. In addition to these philosophical and intellectual influences, Hegel was also deeply affected by the political upheaval of his time. The French Revolution, with its radical ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity, was a pivotal influence on Hegel. He saw it as a historical event that embodied the struggle and progress of freedom. During his early career as a private tutor and later as a lecturer, Hegel would draw upon these influences, fusing them into a unique philosophical framework. He would integrate the dialectical method of the Greeks, the rational inquiry of the Enlightenment, and the revolutionary spirit of his contemporaries. These influences would later shape Hegel's own philosophical ideas. The journey of this philosopher, who once was a young boy from Stuttgart, is a testament to the power of ideas and the indomitable spirit of human curiosity. Hegel's early works offer a glimpse into the development of his philosophical ideas. The seeds of his distinctive philosophical system are scattered throughout these early pieces, and sifting through them provides us with a fascinating journey into the mind of one of history's greatest thinkers. Let's first delve into The Phenomenology of Spirit, a work that has been described as Hegel's magnum opus. Published in 1807, it was a groundbreaking exploration of consciousness and its evolution. Hegel put forth the radical notion that our understanding of reality is shaped by our interaction with it. His concept of the dialectic process, a dialogue between opposing arguments leading to a synthesis, was first introduced in this work and would later become a cornerstone of his philosophy. Then there's his Science of Logic, a complex and profound work that challenges our understanding of logic itself. Hegel argues that logic isn't merely a tool for understanding reality, but that it is reality. Here he further develops his unique dialectical method, asserting that reality unfolds through a dialectic process, where each stage of development contains contradictions that lead to the emergence of a new, higher stage. And we mustn't forget the philosophy of right, where Hegel explores the nature of freedom and the structures that enable it within society. Hegel suggests that freedom is not just the ability to do as we please, but is realized through engaging with and fulfilling our social roles. What's striking about these early works is how they reflect Hegel's bold and innovative thinking. He wasn't afraid to challenge established norms and push the boundaries of philosophy. His early works weren't just stepping stones to his later philosophy, they were the bedrock on which it was built. These early works laid the foundation for Hegel's mature philosophy. Through them, we can trace the evolution of his thought and gain a deeper understanding of his philosophical system. They remind us that philosophy is not a static discipline, but a dynamic process of questioning, exploring, and synthesizing. So, let's continue this journey into the world of Hegel and see where his philosophical explorations would lead him next. Hegel's mature philosophy is a complex system of thought. As we delve into this intricate labyrinth of ideas, we'll explore key concepts such as dialectics, absolute idealism, and the state as the realization of freedom. Let's start with dialectics, a method of argument and reasoning. Hegel's dialectic is unique and often summed up with the formula thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Here's how it works. A thesis or an initial idea confronts an antithesis, an opposing force. This conflict is then resolved by a synthesis, a new idea that reconciles the two. This pattern continues in a cycle, with each synthesis generating a new thesis and so on. It's like a never-ending dance of ideas, each movement giving rise to the next. Next, we have absolute idealism. Imagine if the world wasn't just a random assortment of objects and events, but rather an evolving expression of a single absolute idea. That's the heart of Hegel's absolute idealism. He believed that reality is a manifestation of a universal mind, or spirit, known as the absolute. This absolute constantly unfolds and develops through a process of self-realization, and this process is what we experience as history and human life. Finally, let's discuss Hegel's view of the state. For Hegel, the state isn't just a political entity, it's the pinnacle of human freedom. He saw the state as the embodiment of the general will, a collective consciousness that transcends individual desires. In this sense, the state is the ultimate realization of freedom because it allows individuals to participate in a common project and to recognize themselves in a larger community. But what does this all mean in practical terms? Well, if you take Hegel's dialectic, you might see conflicts not as dead ends, but as opportunities for growth and new understanding. If you consider his absolute idealism, you might view the world not as a chaotic jumble, but as a meaningful narrative unfolding in accordance with a higher purpose. And if you ponder his idea of the state, you might appreciate the role of shared institutions in fostering a sense of collective identity and mutual recognition. In essence, Hegel's mature philosophy invites us to see the world in a new light. It challenges us to recognize the dynamic interplay of ideas, to perceive the underlying unity of reality, and to appreciate the value of our shared institutions. Hegel's mature philosophy represents his most profound and influential ideas. It's a grand vision of the world that continues to inspire and provoke thought to this very day. Whether you agree with him or not, there's no denying the power of Hegel's ideas to shake up our usual ways of thinking and to open up new horizons of understanding. In his later works, Hegel delves deeper into his philosophical system. This is a period where Hegel's thoughts mature and crystallize, reflecting a more refined and nuanced exploration of his ideas. One of the most influential of these later works is The Philosophy of Right. Here, Hegel examines the nature and structures of human society, from the family unit to civil society to the state. Hegel argues that freedom is not just an abstract concept, but a concrete reality that manifests through the institutions and structures of the state. He paints a picture of society where each individual is a part of the whole, and each part contributes to the overall freedom and rationality of the state. But Hegel's exploration of societal structures is not just a static examination. He introduces the concept of dialectic, the idea that societal change occurs through a process of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. In this process, an existing state of affairs, the thesis, is challenged by a contradictory state, the antithesis. And the conflict between the two is ultimately resolved in a new state of affairs, the synthesis. This concept is a cornerstone of Hegel's philosophy, and has had a profound impact on subsequent philosophers, shaping theories of societal and historical development. In addition to The Philosophy of Right, another significant later work is The Philosophy of History. In this work, Hegel presents his view of history as a rational process. According to Hegel, history is not a random series of events, but a purposeful and progressive unfolding of reason. He sees history as the story of humanity's struggle to realize freedom and self-consciousness. This perspective has influenced a wide range of disciplines, from philosophy to political science, history, and even literature. Hegel's later works are not just philosophical treatises. They are insightful analyses of the human condition and the society we live in. They provoke us to think about our place in the world and our role in shaping it. They challenge us to consider the structures that govern our lives, to question them, and to strive for a society that is more rational and more free. Hegel's later works have had a profound impact on subsequent philosophers. Karl Marx, for instance, was greatly influenced by Hegel's dialectic concept. He adapted it to his own theory of societal change, leading to the development of dialectical materialism. Similarly, many 20th century philosophers, such as Jean-Paul Sartre and Herbert Marcuse, have drawn on Hegel's ideas about freedom and self-consciousness. In conclusion, Hegel's later works, from The Philosophy of Right to The Philosophy of History, represent a deep and thoughtful exploration of society, history, and the human condition. These works are not just philosophical texts, but guides to understanding our world and our place within it. Hegel's later works continue to influence philosophers and thinkers to this day. Hegel's influence extends far beyond the realm of philosophy. His ideas and theories have permeated into various fields, creating a ripple effect that has left an indelible mark on our collective understanding of the world. In the field of sociology, Hegel's concept of the dialectic process, the interplay between thesis, antithesis, and synthesis, has been instrumental in shaping our understanding of societal changes. Sociologists often use this framework to analyze and interpret the dynamics of social conflict and resolution. Moving to the sphere of political science, Hegel's philosophy of the state as a manifestation of the world spirit has been instrumental in shaping political theories. His belief that the state is the highest form of ethical life, and his exploration of the relationship between individuals and the state, have deeply impacted the development of political ideologies and systems. Theology, too, has been touched by the hand of Hegel. His philosophy, which merges the rational and the divine, has influenced theological debates, particularly those concerning the relationship between faith and reason. Hegel's concept of absolute spirit has provided a new perspective on understanding the nature of God and the divine. In literature, Hegel's influence is seen in the way authors approach their craft. His idea that art is a reflection of the absolute spirit has encouraged authors to view their work as an expression of the universal human experience. This has led to the creation of literature that delves deeply into the human condition and our place in the world. But these are just a few examples. Hegel's influence is so pervasive that it is difficult to find a field that has not been touched by his thought. His philosophy has become a cornerstone in our understanding of the world, shaping the way we think about society, politics, religion, and art. And so it becomes clear that Hegel's ideas are not confined to dusty philosophy books. They live and breathe in our everyday lives, shaping our understanding of the world and ourselves. Hegel's philosophy has shaped our understanding of the world in profound ways. Understanding Hegel's philosophy is a journey into the heart of human thought and experience. We've journeyed together through his life, his works, and his profound influence on the world. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discovered. We began by delving into Hegel's early life, a period that shaped his intellectual pursuits. His early influences were diverse, from Greek philosophy to Christian theology, which would later manifest in his unique philosophical perspective. Then, we explored his early works, where he began to formulate his ideas around the nature of reality and human consciousness. His writings during this phase were the first hints of the grand ideas that would shape his mature philosophy. Moving on to his mature philosophy, we saw Hegel's ideas come into full bloom. He presented a comprehensive system of absolute idealism that sought to explain the whole of reality. Hegel proposed that the world evolves through a process of thesis, antithesis, and synthesis, a progression that he believed encapsulated everything from human thought to history. In his later works, Hegel further expounded on his ideas, delving into the specifics of his philosophy and its application to various fields. These works served to solidify his place as one of the most influential thinkers in Western philosophy. Lastly, we examined Hegel's vast influence. His ideas have permeated various fields, from philosophy to political science, from art to theology. His dialectical method in particular has been a tool for thinkers across disciplines, helping them navigate complex intellectual landscapes. So we see that Hegel's philosophy is a tapestry of interconnected ideas, each thread contributing to a grand design that seeks to make sense of our reality. It's a journey into the depths of human thought, a dive into the complexities of our existence. Thank you for joining us on this journey into Hegel's philosophy. We hope it has sparked your curiosity and deepened your understanding. As we conclude our exploration of Hegel's philosophy, let this be but the beginning of your journey. Allow the seeds of thought we've planted today to flourish, leading you to delve deeper into Hegel's realm and beyond, into the vast universe of philosophical ideas. May this curiosity light your path to knowledge and understanding. And as you navigate this journey, remember, growth is a constant process, and the quest for understanding is a journey that never ends. Thank you for watching. Remember, the journey of understanding never ends.